An interracial couple in Ohio were the latest victims of bigotry and racism simply because they're a biracial couple. Now, they went on a trip for Thanksgiving, and when they came home, they found their property completely destroyed. We've done a number of stories of swastikas spray painted on people's garages, but this goes even further. Take a look.
Top to bottom, Joe and Pat Jude's home was vandalized. Police say thieves broke into their home from the top window.
Stair railings had been broken off, kicked down, and trash thrown about. Then I walked into the room with Nazi signs and white power signs.
The couple had just moved someone out. The next renters would have moved in this week, except
I opened the pipes upstairs so the water ran freely.
Water caused the ceiling to collapse, and every wall showed painful evidence of discrimination.
They poured paint into the appliances. They poured, like my husband said, cement down the drains. I mean, there is nothing that is salvageable without having to totally refurbish the whole house again.
The thieves also stole a fridge, her grandfather's bookcase, and left beer cans and food.
Who would have that much hate in their hearts to take that much time to do this? They took time to cut that out.
A painful battle with racism this family has endured for years.
We got married at a time when, it wasn't real acceptable.
In 2010, their son Jay committed suicide at 16 after they say he was bullied for being biracial.
Got through that, you never get over it, but then you come in here and it's the same kind of stuff, it's just not necessary.
In the beginning of the story, I didn't know what had happened to their son.
Mm-hmm. It's really hard to watch that. It's really hard to know that I don't know. The story is so heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's sad to see that much hate in the world, and that's why I say Martin Luther King was, the greatest guy I've ever read about, because he said when he went down the South that he was not just going to liberate African Americans. He was going to liberate the white racists at the time that lived in Alabama, Mississippi, etc., because he wanted to liberate them from the hatred in their heart. And that is amazing. And I know I'm not that good a person.
Yeah.
But as you look at what those guys did to that poor couple who's already gone through so much, you realize that. But King is right. They've got so much hatred in their heart. You think it helps them? No. There's no way the guys who did that aren't miserable. So they might pretend to be having a good time and drinking beers and doing this stuff, but you don't go do that and inflict that kind of pain on other people unless you got pain inside you. Because I'm a generally happy guy. I'm not going around trying to find other people to, pick on and destroy their property and put swastikas in there. And the deep, deep insecurity. Oh, she married a black guy. What are you so worried about? I mean, all these guys who pretend to be real men and yet they attack people who can't defend themselves, and then they do it because what? Oh, she shouldn't have married a black guy. Well, are you afraid of the free market? What are you afraid of, right? They're afraid that that they're not man enough. And so they go do this in the middle of the night. Like, that's why we all got to band together. That's why I keep thinking about that guy, Norman. I think his first name was Justin Norman, out in Texas, standing by the mosque. And he's just a cowboy, literally in his cowboy hat, right? That went out there, I think he's like 53 years old, with a sign says, "I'm with you, brothers. If you're American, I'm here to protect you." And now this case doesn't have anything to do with Muslims. This is, just an interracial couple. And it's not in Texas, it's in Ohio. Same thing applies. We all got to stand together, man. We got to say, not on our watch. So you got to go help those guys, Maybe, I don't know, maybe the community gets together.
They have already. So there is a GoFundMe page for them. And last time I checked, they had a goal of, I believe, $2,000.
Oh, come on.
And they raised $30,000 the last time I checked. And please, if you have anything, help them out. $30,000 is a lot of money, but their property is completely destroyed.
So that's great. The other part of it is
protect one another, I think, more than anything, right?
Yeah,
regardless of your ideology, regardless of, which presidential candidate you supported, regardless of what you feel, even if you're the most conservative Republican, or you're the most progressive liberal, please just protect each other. At the end of the day, they're political opinions. At the end of the day, it's the way we disagree or agree about how we want this country to be governed. We're all humans. We need to protect each other. We can't keep letting stuff like this happen.
Those guys obviously don't represent the majority of Republican voters, Trump voters, whatever you want to say. So if you're a Republican voter in Ohio or a Trump voter or a Trump supporter, go grab a toolbox and say, I'm here to help, brother. You know, not on our watch. It doesn't matter that, whether you're a Democrat or Republican or you voted for Clinton or Trump, help one another. Because if we let this continue, it gets worse and worse. If we all band together and say, it's not cool and you don't represent us, whether we're Democrats or Republicans, then maybe together we make it a little bit better. The Young Turks isn't just us, it's also you guys. You make this show possible, and we want to thank you for it, and we want to grow together. We want to be too strong. tytnetwork.com/join. Let's do it.